So hey guys, it's Evie, welcome back to my channel. So as you can see by the title, in today's video I'm going to be giving you guys advice about starting university, sharing some of my tips and also answering a few questions that you guys have given me about university. So yeah, I'm coming to the end of my first year now, which is kind of crazy. When I go back after Easter, I've got 3 weeks worth of like teaching, and then I have a few weeks to like complete my exams, and then I'm done. I can stay at my apartment till about midway through June, so I am going to do that, but my actual teaching finishes like mid-May, which is really crazy. I can't believe that first year's already nearly finished. But yeah, I feel like I am at the point now where I can give my advice about starting university, some things I've learned along the way. So yeah, I thought this would be a useful video for some of you guys. This video is hopefully just going to be uploaded as like an extra video. So if all goes well, this should be my second video uploaded this week. If you see me looking down a lot throughout this video, it's because I've written like my advice and my notes on this notebook. So I'm just going to have this in front of me so I don't forget anything that I've wrote. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thank you all so much for the support on my channel at the moment. My channel is really picking up, it's really doing well, which is really nice. But yeah, let's just get started. I'm going to start by giving like my advice and like some tips I've learned along the way, and then I'll answer the few questions that I got at the end. So yeah, I'm going to start with actually before you go to university. I'm going to do a little section on like stuff that you need to buy before you go to university and some things that I found really helpful. So yeah, I did most of my uni shopping at IKEA. I think it's a good place to go. It's not too expensive. There's so many things you can buy from there. You can just buy it all in one place, which is really great. I would say though the only downside about going to IKEA is they do sell this like big kitchen box, which I bought. The stuff you get in it is really good. The only issue is that it's more than likely that one other person in your flat would have bought the same box, because it's advertised as like this really good like uni starter pack. It gives you everything you need. But yeah, in my flat at least there's one other person that has the same box, so obviously they've got all the same stuff as me, so it can get kind of confusing if you like leave your stuff out on the side. There's like 2 of each thing, if that makes sense. And yeah, I don't think labeling really works because it's just going to get like wet when you wash it and it'll probably just fade away. So yeah, that's the only thing. I'd say like buy a few of the basic things from IKEA, but if you can like get a few like unique mugs or like unique plates or things like that, just so you like distinguish your stuff a bit more from your flatmates. You definitely don't have to do that, but it might be a nice idea. I thought I'd share with you guys a few things that I've bought and like what I found really useful. The first is my washing bags, but ones that have like, they have like a shoulder strap. I'll leave the ones I bought on screen. I think I got them from Amazon, but it means that I can like wear them on my shoulder when I go down to do my washing. They obviously have the drawstring bit so you can put your washing inside. Then when you go to carry them, they have like a big shoulder strap so you can wear it on your back, and that way it's just easier to carry down to the washer. It's likely that at your university you won't have a washing machine like in your apartment. It will probably be somewhere else, like it'll be shared with a lot of other people. So yeah, this just makes it easier to carry downstairs, and also by having a washing bag it doesn't take up as much space as having like, I was thinking of getting one of those like barrel baskets and having it like stood up in my room. Yeah, I'm very glad I didn't go for that in the end, as it just wouldn't have been practical at all. The next is a shoe rack. I did think when I bought this that it might have been a bit unnecessary, but I've actually used it so much. It keeps my room so tidy. Otherwise I feel like my shoes would have just been everywhere on the floor. There wouldn't have been like a designated space for them. The shoe rack was pretty cheap. It was from Amazon again. It has like 2 levels, so I think I can get about maybe 4 pairs of shoes on the shoe rack, and then like underneath I can fit 2 more. So yeah, I think that's a good amount. You probably don't need more than that at uni anyways. And yeah, it's really small. I just put it in the corner of my room. Then for the bathroom, I'd recommend one of those shelves that you can put like in your shower. I'm lucky I have an ensuite, so I don't have to actually like take my stuff out every time. But having this like shower shelf that hooks over the door is just really useful. Products are all stored in one place. They're not just all over the shower floor. And yeah, it just makes it nice and tidy. Also to do with the bathroom, I'd recommend having a basket. I have this basket which I put under my sink, and I basically put all my cleaning supplies in there for the bathroom, all my like extra products. So like sometimes if I buy like extra hand soap or something, just like stock ups of products, I put them all in that basket. And yeah, it's just been really useful having it. Right, next thing is a big one. Make sure you buy some like sliders or like a cheap pair of slippers you don't mind getting a bit ruined. This is for the kitchen because the kitchen floor gets pretty gross when you're at uni. And the last thing I've wrote on my list for like things to bring with is just some really nice decor bits. You might see in the background of my videos, obviously I'm at home right now, but at uni you'll see like I have a pegboard, and a lot of unis give you those pegboards, and yeah, they don't look the nicest when you don't have anything on it. So make sure you bring some like photos with you, like printed photos you can hang up on your pegboard, and it makes it feel more homely as well when you have photos that you brought with from home. And yeah, just some other decor bits as well, like some fairy lights are really nice, some fake plants, but make sure to get fake ones, as I bought a few real ones. Like in Freshers Week they had like a stall outside with some plants. In hindsight it's a really nice idea, but when I went home like the plants just died. And then obviously I used to have some plants like on this shelf here, and then when I went to uni those ones died. So I just can't keep any plants really whilst I'm at uni. Going home or going to uni, they're gonna die either way. But yeah, now moving on to the actual move-in day, I'd say get there nice and early just so that you have a lot of the day to unpack, but also so that you can secure a good cupboard space in the kitchen. I think when I got there I was the second person to arrive and there's 6 of us. So yeah, I managed to secure a pretty good cupboard. I actually have it like right next to the fridge, which is pretty handy. And I also managed to get like a top cupboard and then the one directly below it, so I've got like the full thing, if that makes sense. So yeah, getting there early on moving day means that you're able to secure the cupboard that you want, and also the fridge space that you want, because each person has like a shelf in the fridge and also the freezer. So if you arrive early you get a better choice really. I'd also say for moving day, make sure you bring some food with you so that you have some food for dinner that evening and also breakfast the next day. I think I brought just some cereal with me, and then I think I brought like pasta and pasta sauce, so like really basic stuff, but it's just so that you have something. You don't have to go out to the shop straight away as soon as you get there, as you really won't want to be doing that. You want to like unpack, you want to settle, you want to like find your bearings a bit, but you won't want to be going and finding a shop to do your food shop really on the first day. But I do think that is a good tip. Make sure you bring some food with you, as also you don't want to be hungry the first day you're there as well. From here on out the advice is a bit scattered. There's not really any category to anything. I'm just going to be listing off some things that I thought of. So yeah, firstly I just wanted to say, if you don't get your accommodation that you wanted, don't worry. I'm not gonna lie, I was very dramatic. I didn't get the accommodation I wanted and I cried about it, and now looking back that was really stupid. It really isn't a big deal. I just didn't really like the look of the one that I ended up getting compared to the one that I wanted. So I feel like in your head, once you get into the uni, you kind of like in your head start to picture it, and the thing that I was picturing was the accommodation that I wanted, and obviously I didn't get that one, but it really isn't a big deal. Also, like, the pictures make it seem worse than what it actually is. Online it looked so much worse, and obviously you'll see my uni room now and I really like it. I really like how I've done it up, so even if you don't like the look of it initially, you can make it look like how you want it to. And yeah, at the end of the day you are only there for like not even a year really. Right, some tips for Freshers Week. Don't buy those wristbands they try to advertise to you. They're not worth it at all. You won't be missing out if you don't buy it. I didn't buy one and I still had a good time during Freshers Week. It means that then you can just pick and choose the events that you want to go to, the ones that you don't want to. You don't end up wasting any money. Also, because you don't even know who you're going to go to these events with, you don't really know anyone when you first go. When you first arrive you're not going to know anyone, so you know they might not want to go to the same events you do, so there's no point buying the wristbands, because if you buy them you'll then feel pressured to go, and if you don't have anyone to go with, then you know you're just wasting your money. So next I've got a tip about meal planning and basically just doing your food shop. I think in my like second week of uni I bought one of those meal planners and they have been so helpful. On the Sunday night I normally write out my meals for the week, and then I also make like a shopping list. We never do this at home, so like I'm not used to like meal planning for the week really, but by doing this it means I save so much time in the shop because I already know what I'm getting. I already know the meals I'm having. It also helps you budget because you're not buying like unnecessary stuff in the shop, which means it also helps like food waste and stuff. And yeah, I just find it's a lot easier, and it also means I can kind of be healthier when cooking because I've already planned out what I want to have during the week, so I don't just go for like the easy option of like doing freezer food, for example. Like I know that I've bought in these vegetables to have with these meals. So yeah, I just feel like overall it's really useful to plan your meals for the week. I've definitely got like in the routine of doing it now. My next bit of advice is for the start of the term when you're really new to the university. I'd say you really need to take the time to figure out basically where everything is, just to make your life easier. Just like really find your bearings, like figure out where the nearest bus stop is, the nearest train station, the bus route, like where it takes you, your nearest food shop, where your washing unit is on campus. Basically all those things that you don't really think about when you're at home, but when you go to a new place you need to figure out where all this stuff is. So yeah, during that first week where you don't have any classes, it's really useful just to try find all of that stuff. So then when you get busier and classes start and you're trying to meet new people and everything, you already have your bearings, you already know where stuff like that is, and yeah, it just takes the stress away really. So that is definitely a task to do during that first week. Right, the last little section of advice I have is all to do with the schoolwork. I feel like during first year the schoolwork is kind of like, it's not like your main priority. I feel like just settling into the uni life is probably your biggest priority, to be honest. You don't really get given a lot of work in the first term at least. I think the uni is nice in letting you settle in, and they know that it's like a big change for everyone. So yeah, I'd say firstly don't worry too much about the work. Obviously it doesn't count to your final grade. You need to be passing everything obviously, but if you aren't getting like the highest marks it's really not a big deal. But yeah, I would say just make sure you're on top of your work, because in saying that there are quite a lot of deadlines. You have deadlines at the end of each semester, so I've currently got my next lot of deadlines coming up. Also make sure you understand the different kinds of assessments, because you're tested in so many different ways. At least for me, there's so many different ways you can be assessed. Like you could have to do group presentations, you could have to do online exams, reports, essays. I think that's all of them, but yeah, there's quite a few different ways you can be examined. The last tip I have for like the study aspect of university is just to really make use of all like the study spaces on campus. I feel like during first term I just did not make use of it at all. I can barely really remember going to many spaces on campus where I can revise and where I can work. Like we have so many different options. Like we have student centres, we have the library, which is like 3 floors, we have loads of different coffee shops. Now like during second term I love it. I'm barely in my room to to revise and like do work. Whenever I do work, I'm mostly in one of those places. Like I love the coffee shops on campus. The coffee is really cheap as well, which is great. And yeah, I'm always in the library because there's so many different like spaces in the library. There's like the quiet bit with like sofas and stuff. There's like the individual cubicles where you're kind of like blocked off either side, so you can really do like focused study. There's like group workspaces, there's spaces with computers. And yeah, during first term I just did not discover these spaces enough. But yeah, I'm sure whatever university you guys go to, they're going to have similar facilities. So yeah, just definitely make use of them. Like, you're paying to be there, so make use of everything really. Right, to finish up the video, I'm now going to answer some questions. The first one I have, which I think is a really good question actually, just going to read it off my notebook. It says, is it what you expected it to be? Is it similar to how it's portrayed on social media? I think that's such a good question because there's so much about university on social media. So to answer it, I'd say yes and no. I've wrote a little yes and no list. I think what you see in social media in terms of the actual lessons, the lecture space, everything like that, I think is pretty similar. The societies I think are the same as how I saw on social media. So whether that's the sports societies or other kind of societies, I kind of knew what I was getting into when I joined football. And yeah, I think the day-to-day of university is how I saw on like people's vlogs and stuff. How my room is pretty similar to any other university accommodation I've seen. The only thing I'd say is pretty different is the flatmate situation. I think on social media it can be portrayed that you're going to get along with everyone that you meet, that your flatmates are going to be your best friend, that you're all going to really get along and everything. And for me that just hasn't really happened. I'm not really friends with any of my flatmates. I think especially like on TikTok for example, it seems like everyone is really good friends with their flatmates, but for me that's not been the case. I'm not really friends with any of my flatmates. We're just not the same people at all. We don't really have any similarities, which is okay. I obviously have my other friends and I go over to their flats and stuff, but yeah, with my own flatmates we're just not friends. We don't really speak outside of maybe being in the kitchen at the same time. At first I was kind of not upset, but just a bit like, oh, I'm not going to have that experience of being with your first year flatmates and all getting along. But for most people that probably isn't the case anyways. It probably is just the highlights that you see on social media, which is normal anyways with everything on social media, to be honest. But yeah, I think you just have to accept if you don't get on with your flatmates when you first move in, it's not the end of the world. You're going to meet people through other things anyways. In some ways it's better because you've got to really put yourself out there then and meet new people outside of your flat, which is what I did, and now I've got some really good friends at university. So yeah, at the end of the day it is just luck who you get put with, and next year I get to live with my friends, which is really exciting. So yeah, that is kind of my view on that question. I thought it was a really good question actually. The next question is just how to make friends, and I think I have briefly answered this in my other video when I did like a first semester recap. I'd say most of my friends that I've met through my society, definitely try and join a society if you can. You'll meet so many people through it. It keeps you active as well. Team sports are really fun, and yeah, it just gives you something to do in the evenings as well. So I'd really recommend trying to join a society. Sorry if the camera angle's changed here. I had to sort out my storage on my camera because I've been talking for so long. But yeah, carrying on with that question, even if you don't like playing sports, they have so many different other ones which you can join. And yeah, I feel like societies is such a big part of the university experience that you just got to join one. There's not really going to be another point in your life where you've got so many options of clubs and stuff that you can join. The last question I'm going to answer is, how did I find integrating into your modules and how to write effective notes that work for you? My modules, I definitely preferred this term's modules to last term. I don't know if that's because like I was new to university life at the same time, so trying to do like the work and stuff on top of like figuring out everything else for the first time was kind of hard. But I also do think I just prefer the topics that I've been given for this term, and yeah, I also feel like I've just got into the flow of it more. And yeah, how to write effective notes. I don't know if my notes are the best. I don't really have anything to compare it to be honest. I write all my notes on my laptop, which is kind of different for me because I used to write it all on paper at A-levels obviously. And what I kind of do is I kind of do like a split screen, and I have the PowerPoint that we get given on one side and like a Word document on the other side. I do a bit of a mixture of writing what the lecturer says and then also what it says on the PowerPoint. But yeah, that is everything I'm going to answer in this video. I hope you found it somewhat useful, and yeah, as I said at the beginning, I just wanted to upload 2 videos this week whilst I'm on half term. So this is just a bonus upload really. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.